The name Lavis Vindica echoes over a dark castle. A dying soldier glares up, calling him a monster. The Grand Hall is a tomb littered with bodies. But Lavis knew everything about House Hilt's betrayal. He clenches a bloody fist. This wasn't a massacre. This was an execution by House Vindica. A powerful voice from above condemns his arrogant actions. His orders were to find evidence, not exterminate a family. Now he stands accused of disrupting the demon realm. The demon king, Gamudare Vindica, declares he has gone too far. Lavis argues that House Hilt was hopelessly corrupt. Their political allies made them completely untouchable. He screams about the countless crimes they committed. From the shadows, a woman in sunglasses observes. The demon king scolds him for ignoring procedure. Lavis just smirks, mocking the idea of procedure. He roars that the demon realm's only law is survival. The demon king listens, his face a stone mask. He challenges his father's right to rule the realm. If he lets the nobles corrupt their entire order, the demon king scoffs at his son's foolishness. Lavis insists House Hilt was plotting to seize the throne. He accuses the other nobles of hiding behind the traitors. But his father's gaze is a wall of ice. The king sighs, his patience completely exhausted. He and the 12 black seats have already decided his punishment. For his crimes, he is to be banished to the human realm. The human realm, the sentence echoes in his mind. He pleads with his father, refusing to believe it. There his powers will be sealed as he learns true dignity. He screams that he only killed their bodies, not their souls. The demon king commands them to execute the sentence now. He screams in defiance, refusing to accept the punishment. The hooded mages unleash the powerful banishment spell. The searing magic slams directly into his face. A hooded figure leans in, mocking the rogue prince. The woman in sunglasses smirks, promising to take his place. He's consumed by the overwhelming magical energy. The sentence is made official, descent to the human realm. And his exile comes with 3 unbreakable rules. Break the rules and his soul will be annihilated. He jolts awake, gasping for air in a new body. He's in a strange bed in an unfamiliar room. Lavis stares down at his hands in disbelief. These are not the hands of a demon prince. The horrifying truth sinks in, he's in the human realm. He seethes, blaming the hooded rival banned for this. But a sharp pain rips through his new body. He struggles just to move his aching limbs. He's truly trapped inside a pathetic human vessel. He scoffs at the uselessness of House Hilt. The human air is suffocating without any sulfur. A young woman peeks into the room, startled. She screams a familiar title, stunning him. Tears of relief stream down her face. She throws herself at him in a desperate hug. Lavis realizes she must be this body's sibling. Another woman appears, calling him Minho. She sobs with relief, grateful he's finally conscious. The demon prince is utterly lost in this human drama. He panics, calling human relationships a living hell. A stern man appears, this body's father. The mother confirms that Minho is finally awake. The father's gaze is cold and unforgiving. He orders Lavis to go to school tomorrow. He dismisses his wife's concerns about his health. The sister stays behind, worried about her brother. Lavis senses a dark, familiar aura from the man. But a strange, delighted smile spreads across his face. He's found a human who acts just like a demon. His demonic nature instinctively likes the man's cruelty. The next day, he arrives at a human school. His human mother drops him off, worried for him. She watches him walk away with a pained expression. He scoffs, having finished his education 600 years ago. For a demon prince, this truly is a living hell. He remembers his earlier conclusion about human bonds. He makes his way to his assigned classroom. He looks down on these fragile, short-lived beings. His new mission, lay low and avoid soul annihilation. He remembers his true goal, to take his father's throne. He must return before the Vindica line is corrupted again. But his thoughts are interrupted by a group of bullies. Lavis glares back, utterly unimpressed by these humans. The lead bully grabs him, demanding late fees. To his shock, his new body trembles with fear. He's hit with a memory of this body's past trauma. These humans tormented Minho relentlessly. The boy was beaten and left crying in an alley. Lavis finally understands why his body was aching. He realizes these punks are the source of the pain. The bullies surround him, mocking his fear. Their leader demands money for a proper welcome. A demon prince being bullied by mere humans. He remembers a lesson from the demon realm. His classmates mocked the pathetic human form. The teacher called them vulgar beings hiding weakness. They were foolish creatures who worshipped anyone. Young Lavis declared they should just be burned. His teacher praised his answer with a burst of flame. The teacher's lesson crushed their vulgarity into dust. But now a mere human dares to touch him. The bully smirks, completely unaware of his mistake. Lavis grabs the boy's head with lightning speed. He smashes the bully's face straight into a desk. The entire class freezes in stunned silence. The leader roars, calling him a crazy bastard. but Lavis feels a spark of his sealed magic. The bully leader asks if he really wants to die. He lunges forward, throwing a furious punch. He realizes human insults are stimulating his magic. He clenches his fist, confirming the strange link. He dodges the punch and counters with a brutal elbow. The bully leader is sent flying across the floor. The entire class watches in absolute shock. Lavis stares at his hand, questioning the seal. But even in this body, his magic reacts to malice. A classmate wonders if this is the same Manhwa. Another bully grabs a chair, ready to kill him. The classmate screams for him to watch out. Lavis's eyes glow with a familiar demonic power. He dodges the chair and unleashes a powerful palm strike. The bully collapses, gasping for air in total shock. Lavis stands over him, calling him a weak piece of shit. He mocks the boy's vulgarity as a pathetic shield. Then he delivers a brutal kick straight to the face. The impact sends the bully flying backwards. He remembers his mother, the true source of profanity. The bully lies on the floor, knocked out cold. The entire class stares, unable to believe what happened. He thinks back to his father's command. A wicked smile spreads across his face. He asks if anyone else wants to challenge him. A dark, menacing aura fills the classroom. He dares them to curse him to fuel his magic. The students whisper, wondering if it's really Manhwa. A classmate is stunned by his sudden strength. He stands victorious over the unconscious bullies. The boy with glasses asks if he's all right. Lavis remembers this kid tried to help him earlier. Lavis smirks, seeing a perfect future attendant. The boy is amazed by his incredible fighting skills. He asks if Manhwa reincarnated from another world. He guesses wildly about martial arts or video games. Lavis wonders if this human has seen his true self. He recalls a lesson about the rules of his exile. His mentor warned him not to take human lives lightly. Demons are the gods who govern the cycle of death. But young Lavis argued that humans kill each other. His mentor called them foolish, which is why demons exist. Young Lavis scoffs at the very idea of rules. His mentor's warning, kill a human, lose your soul. Now that rule is his biggest problem. The boy with glasses jokes about reincarnation. He wishes he could escape to another world. Lavis senses the deep suffering in this human. The boy quickly dismisses his own fantasy. He knows how much Manhwa suffered before today. He praises Manhwa for his incredible strength. But the praise from a mere human disgusts him. That night back in his human apartment, he confirms it, human curses activate his power. A feat that should be completely impossible. He contemplates this strange new loophole. A wicked smile spreads across his face. He gloats that Lavis Vindica has no limits. But a sudden sharp pain rips through him. He doubles over, his body convulsing violently. This human vessel is too weak for his power. He collapses, hating his miserable new existence. He screams in agony from the overwhelming pain. But the demon prince passes out instantly. The next morning, he arrives back at school. His new attendant is grateful for the peace. But Lavis is bored, eager to test his powers. Suddenly, a voice calls out his human name. He turns, annoyed by the interruption. A new group of punks blocks their path. Their leader grabs the attendant by the collar. The terrified boy is caught in the middle. Lavis grins, eagerly taking credit for the insult. The bully leader smirks, ordering him to follow. The scene shifts to a rooftop confrontation. The bully from yesterday gets chewed out by his boss. Back in the present, the new bully confronts Lavis. He gets in his face, needing to maintain his reputation. He pokes his forehead, mocking his upbringing. He asks if his mother taught him to be a thug. Lavis smirks, confirming that she absolutely did. The bully is stunned by his complete lack of fear. The bully leader is stunned that Lavis is smiling. He swings, but Lavis catches his hand instantly. Curses about his mother are the sweetest fuel. With a demonic grin, he twists the bully's wrist. The boy screams, shocked by this sudden strength. Lavis thanks his mother for the gift of profanity. He slams the bully's face into the hard ground. His mother taught him violence only binds the flesh. But a rotting voice can destroy the very soul. The other bullies watch in absolute terror. The attendant screams, completely terrified by the violence. The bully leader orders his crew to attack him. Lavis cracks his knuckles, ready for a group fight. His demonic eye glows, welcoming the challenge. More malice just means more power for him. His attendant can only watch in horrified awe. The rooftop brawl is swift and brutal. He lets out a satisfied sigh, the fight over. The entire crew lies defeated on the ground. He finally understands why violence was given to humans. The attendant sees a strange vision of Lavis. Lavis smirks, unaware he's being watched. A demonic rat spies on him from the shadows. He reports to a mysterious figure in his mind. He's speaking to his uncle, a powerful demon. The uncle casually crushes a monster's skull. He mockingly asks if Lavis enjoys his gift. The woman in sunglasses notes a special bloodstone. She wonders how long he can last in this state. But Lavis just basks in his newfound power. Back in the demon realm, a dark laugh echoes. Lavis's uncle watches the Hiltga massacre unfold. The hooded Bamb notes Lavis always gets his way. The uncle scoffs at his nephew's stubborn nature. But the Demon King's creed is absolute subjugation. He gloats that Lavis won't last in the human realm. He remembers bullying a much younger, weaker Lavis. Bamb asks if the gifted bloodstone was part of the plan. A mage reports they can now view the exiled sinner. The uncle grins, eager to watch his nephew suffer. Bamb unleashes a torrent of dark magic. He's sending demonic entities to the human realm. The uncle and Bamb perform a dark ritual. They open a gateway to unleash their creations. The uncle promises to show Lavis true darkness. Meanwhile, Lavis enjoys a meal with his attendant. The boy is completely starstruck by his power. Lavis denies crying from the spicy food. He scoffs, claiming a true demon never avoids hell. But their meal is interrupted by a sudden phone call. The attendant's phone rings and he freezes in terror. Lavis casually asks why he isn't picking up. The boy stammers, completely panicked by the caller. He makes a quick excuse and rushes out of the restaurant. Lavis watches him go, sensing the boy's overwhelming fear. But the demon prince simply continues his meal. The scene shifts to a dark, ominous alleyway. Inside a tattoo parlor, a woman tortures a man. She complains that his late payment caused extra work. She smiles, her grim task finally complete. She admires the fresh tattoo on her victim's face. Her men announce they've brought the next target. It's Lavis's attendant, trembling in absolute terror. The tattoo artist scolds him for being late. She grabs his chin, forcing him to look closely. He's forced to stare at her previous victim. She explains the tattoo is a punishment for debt. Now she asks about the promise he made to her. The boy is too terrified to even answer her. He stammers that bugs have been getting in his way. The tattoo artist scoffs at his pathetic excuses. Her goons hold him down as she readies her needle. She threatens to carve the lesson directly into his hand. The attendant screams, begging her to stop. The woman, Lim Xian, gives him a final warning. This is the very last chance she's giving him. He must follow her orders without any more mistakes. He's given a mission, terrified he'll fail again. Later that night, the attendant works frantically at his desk. He knows if he doesn't do this, he's dead. The attendant resolves to carry out his dangerous mission. He works tirelessly through the night, bathed in monitor light. Meanwhile, back in the apartment building, Lavis wakes up, his body racked with agony. The backlash from his magic is tearing him apart. He rages against this weak, pathetic human vessel. But Lavis Vindico refuses to be defeated by this, vowing to rehabilitate this trash body no matter what. He screams, pushing through the overwhelming pain. The next day, he arrives back at school. The attendant stands alone in the school hallway. He stares at a strange device in his hand. The app he was forced to create feels wrong. He knows this mission is far too dangerous. But Lim Xian's threatening words echo in his mind. He steels himself, knowing he has no other choice. But his resolve crumbles into pure panic. Suddenly, a hand grabs him from behind. Lavis asks why he's so incredibly startled. The boy wonders if he should ask Minho for help. He decides against asking for help. He knows even Minho can't handle Lim Xian. He can't drag his new friend into this mess. But Lavis catches a strange, familiar scent. He smelled this exact scent somewhere before. A girl suddenly collapses right in front of them. The attendant rushes to her side in a panic. He desperately tries to see if she's injured. Her face is a mask of pure, agonizing pain. He screams as her body begins to convulse. He senses demonic energy inside a human. A student rushes over to the collapsed girl. He struggles to carry her to the infirmary. Her arm brushes against Lavis as they pass. He instantly recognizes the crest on her wrist, the symbol of the Hiltga family on a human. He knows he must confirm his suspicions. That night, he arrives at a large hospital. He walks down the corridor disguised, but a woman in a police uniform stops him. The officer blocks his path, denying him entry. But Lavis moves in close, his presence unnerving. His demonic eyes glow, unleashing a mental command. Her mind goes completely blank under his influence. A demonic sigil burns into her consciousness. She sits down obediently, her will no longer her own. He knows the mind control is only temporary. Inside, the girl from school looks up annoyed. She demands to know who this intruder is. But Lavis just glares, asking the very same question. The girl screams at him for barging into her room. He grabs her wrist, ignoring her pain protests. His demonic eye glows, completely unimpressed. He demands to know why she bears the Hiltga crest. She yells back, confused by his strange questions. A dark aura surrounds him as he demands the truth. He stares her down, asking for her true identity. The sheer pressure of his presence terrifies her. She stammers, unable to form a coherent sentence. A dark vision appears as she realizes he's a demon. The girl stammers, trying to explain herself. His demonic eye glows as he demands the truth. She cries that she knows nothing about Yi. She got the tattoo to join a crew and get diet pills. But Lavis focuses on a faint, familiar scent. He's certain he smelled this in the demon realm. A flashback begins, a torch flickering on a stone wall. A voice calls out to a much younger Lavis. A demon official warns him he's in a restricted area. But young Lavis just glares, ignoring the warning. Young Lavis smirks, mocking his rival band. The demon official sweats, clearly intimidated. He claims he's not scared, just avoiding punishment. But he refuses to leave the young prince alone. He nervously asks how deep they're going. They walk down a long, forbidden stone corridor. The official asks Lavis if he knows the danger. Lavis feigns ignorance, forcing the official to talk. The official begins a story about transcendent eyes. He says there are two ways to lose such sight. The official says sight is lost in absolute darkness. But he suddenly cuts himself off, sensing a presence. Young Lavis signals for silence. Something is here. A desiccated hand clutches a strange purple flower. They stare from the shadows, wondering what it is. Lavis ignores the danger, stepping out for a closer look. The official recognizes the body of Jeremy Hiltka. He's already dead, covered in strange blossoms. The flowers sprout gruesomely from his eyes and chest. Lavis reaches out, but the flower erupts in dark energy. Young Lavis recoils from the flower's foul stench. The official recognizes the dangerous plant. He identifies it as the deadly, gnawing flower. Lavis realizes the girl smells just like that flower. The terrified girl begs him to spare her life. But Lavis just stands there, watching her break. He glances out the window, sensing a presence. A demonic bat hangs outside, speaking his name. It promises that it's looking forward to this. Lavis leaves the hospital, walking into the night. Lavis arrives at the source, Jin Yihee's tattoo shop. The Hiltka crest and the gnawing flower, it's no coincidence. He heads inside, determined to find the connection. A group of thugs discusses their boss, Lim Xian. One of them holds up a strange blue candy. It's a new designer drug called the Blue Ribbon. His friend warns him about the dangerous side effects, but the blonde thug doesn't care as long as it feels good. Lavis recognizes that same foul scent and the Hiltka crest. The crest is tattooed directly onto the thug's neck. He asks the thugs if they got their tattoos from Yihee. The blonde thug asks if he's a friend of the boss. He grabs Lavis's chin, demanding a show of respect. But his demonic eye glows with cold, silent fury. In a flash, he grabs the thug by the throat and smashes his face into the concrete wall. Another thug roars, demanding to know who sent him. Lavis just answers with a lightning-fast punch. The brutal blow sends the man flying backwards. He screams a curse as he crashes to the ground. The remaining thugs charge, screaming for his death. But Lavis blocks the punch with casual ease. He counters with a devastating blow to the face. As one falls, another lunges forward with a knife. A brutal kick sends the attacker flying backwards. He stands over them, completely unfazed by the fight. He finally asks the question, where is Jin Yihee? The defeated thug gasps, ordering someone to kill him. A dark energy suddenly consumes the blonde thug. Lavis is stunned, the human's demonic energy spiked. The thug lunges forward, his face a demonic mask. Lavis realizes the drug is enhancing his abilities. The thug stomps down hard on his arm. The brutal blow sends Lavis to the ground. The powered-up thug leaps down for the kill. But Lavis's demonic eye just glows with annoyance. The scene shifts to a dark, quiet night. Inside a hideout, a man kneels, apologizing for a delay. A tattooed figure scoffs at the repeated excuses. He reveals they've caught the one stealing their drugs. The captured man screams, begging for his life. He pleads for one more chance from the boss. The tattooed leader and his crew watch coldly. He pulls a blue rose, its stem withering instantly. The captured man's eyes widen in sheer terror. His desperate pleas for mercy fill the room. He screams as he realizes his fate is sealed. The boss raises the flower, glowing with dark power. He forces the strange blossom onto the man's head. The thief chokes, dark energy consuming his body. The tattoo artist Yihee watches in silent terror. The thief screams for his life, begging for mercy. The boss swings the glowing flower down with deadly force. A brutal strike echoes through the dark room. His body hits the floor, his life extinguished. The boss declares there are no second chances here. He makes sure his entire crew understands the lesson. His cold gaze lands directly on a terrified Yihee. He demands Yihee stop making excuses and deliver. Yihee stammers, promising he understands the order. The city is quiet under a dark, starry sky. Yihee panics, realizing he's completely screwed. He frantically tries to call Lim Xian for help. Elsewhere, a phone buzzes with an incoming call. The attendant's work is interrupted by the ringing. He stares at the screen, a sweat drop on his face. He nervously picks up and answers the call. A man's pain scream echoes through the line. Lavis calmly reports that the thugs aren't listening. The attendant is completely baffled by the chaos. Lavis asks the attendant if he knows Jin Yihe. He reminds him of the call he picked up earlier. The attendant panics, asking how he knows that name. Lavis stands over the thugs, asking for an address. The boy fears that Yihe's crew got to him. Lavis clarifies he's the one hunting for Yihe. He listens, his expression completely unreadable. As he walks, a demonic spy watches from the stairs. The attendant screams for him to stay away from Yihe. Lavis is baffled by his friend's desperate warning. He finds a strange cat waiting for him on the stairs. The creature freezes, sensing his demonic aura. He calls out to the terrified little furball. With a sigh, he picks up the demonic spy. He asks if the creature can understand him. His demonic eye glows, demanding a clear answer. The cat screams back, confirming it can talk. First a rat, then a bat, and now this. He demands to know what exactly it is. It's a monitor sent to watch demon prisoners. The monitor admits it was sent to watch him. Lavis scoffs, calling the spy far too obvious. He points out it standing on 2 legs. Lavis decides questioning the spy is pointless. His demonic eye glows, demanding to see its master. The cat's eye flares, establishing a connection. A smirking demon appears in a lavish office. His old rival Bamb taunts him from afar. Lavis demands to know what he's plotting, but Bamb just feigns innocence with a lazy smile. Lavis drops the argument, focusing on one key question. He asks if prisoners can use demonic power on Earth. The monitor cryptically says there are exceptions to the rule. Bamb tells him he'll have to find out on his own. Lavis changes the subject to the devouring flower. A forbidden flower from hell is here in the human world. Bamb reveals the Hiltka family has spread to Earth. Lavis realizes the Hiltka remnants are active here. His rival just smirks at his growing fury. The human realm is now a playground for conspiracies. Bamb smirks, seeing this as a perfect opportunity. He orders Lavis to clean out the Hiltka remnants. Lavis demands to know what else is going on. But the monitor goes silent, the connection severed. His demonic eye glows, furious at being stonewalled. Elsewhere, Yihe panics, realizing time is running out. He rages into his phone, unable to reach Lim Xian. The tattoo artist grows more desperate by the second. He tries another number, cursing Lim Xian's name. The call is answered by a man in a gaming cafe. The tattooed man declares he's going to catch Lim Xian. Lavis realizes the monitor is a source of human intel. The cat confirms it receives regular updates on prisoners. He orders the creature to reveal its original form. Lavis threatens to force the transformation himself. A flash of light envelops the terrified creature. It transforms into a young, blue-haired demon girl. She confidently approaches the demon prince. But Lavis is completely unimpressed by her appearance. He figures Bamb sent her for a reason and asks her name. The young demon stammers, admitting she has no name. He names her Street, a reminder of where he found her. Her eyes widen as she whispers her new name. Overjoyed, she thanks Lord Lavis for the gift. He demands all her intel on the human world. Elsewhere, the attendant sprints through the city streets. He gasps for air, pushing himself to the limit. He panics, realizing Minho is in grave danger. A flashback to a happier time, running with an award. The award reveals a shocking truth. He won it for Lim Xian. His mind screams her name, Lim Xian. She cornered him right after his victory. She mocked his prize money as pathetic. Declaring him an asset, she ordered him taken. The attendant's world shattered in an instant. His flowers fall as he's dragged away screaming. He's forced into the back of a van. Inside, a thug calls it a business transaction. They offer him cash in exchange for his app, but he cries that it was never for sale. The tattooed thug scoffs from inside the van. He coldly informs him that's not how it works. The attendant's hope shatters, tears streaming down. He clenches his fist, filled with desperate resolve. He sprints, desperate to stop Minho from meeting Yihe, but he slams right into a stranger on the street. He stammers an apology, looking up in a panic. A new crew blocks his path, mocking his arrival. His face drains of color, he's completely trapped. The leader mentions a familiar name, Lim Xian. Lim Xian sneers that the attendant is finished now. A desperate scream echoes across the rooftops. His only job now is to manage the app for them. The attendant begs them to just wait a second. She warns him they're watching his every move. He's left alone in a room under a guard's watch. He clenches his teeth, knowing it's all over. Outside, the crew mocks him, needing his app for their drug. They question the strange name of his app, I'm Here. They wonder how it can possibly be a distribution channel. The attendant stares at his screen, hating his own creation. The app's logo, I'm Here, glows on the monitor. A new crew leader arrives, asking if all is prepared. He reveals the app is the core of their Blue Ribbon project. With the buyer data, they can control the entire market. Its location sharing feature is their key to expansion. His crew members grin, eager to start selling the drug. The leader's gaze turns cold and determined. He holds up the glowing blue candy, the blue ribbon. It's time, he declares, to unleash it on the world. The I'm Here app spreads like wildfire at school. It offers a huge cash incentive for new users. Students scramble to sign up for the easy money. Even the timid students are forced to join the app. They discover a special sign-up event. The app is giving away the blue ribbon drug. The app's user base explodes in a single day. The crew celebrates their leader's successful plan. Back at the trashed parlor, Yi-hee demands answers. But the only culprit on camera was a single bat. The footage shows a bat staring directly into the camera. Yi-hee demands to see the other camera angles. Another screen shows a rat doing the exact same thing. He explodes in fury, unable to understand the footage. The new crew later receives a notification on his phone. He calls out to Yi-hee, startling the tattoo artist. It's time to move, the blue ribbon stock has arrived. The sun sets over the city as the operation begins. Lavis waits with a completely bored expression. He finds Street in her cat form, questioning her. He demands an update on the investigation. Street proudly declares she has all the answers. The scene shifts to the defeated thug from the parlor. Lavis picks up the blue candy and recognizes the scent. This drug is how they awaken their demonic power. But the knowing flower was wiped out, even in hell. Street reveals the drug is called the blue ribbon. Lavis immediately asks about its raw materials, but she admits the source is impossible to track. Lavis explodes, furious she found nothing useful. Street explains they can track the drug's energy to its source. Lavis demands to know why she hasn't gone already. He asks if she's reporting everything back to his rival, Ban. She cries, claiming she must obey both of their orders. Lavis forces her to choose her one true master. The young demon stammers, torn by the impossible choice. He promises to elevate her status if she chooses him. She imagines a future of power and respect by his side. Her decision made, she pledges her life to Lavis. He smirks, accepting her vow of absolute loyalty. He declares she is now his personal subordinate. A strange spirit suddenly flies out from her ear. He dismisses the spy band left behind. Their new mission, find the blue ribbon source. They arrive at a remote shipping container yard. Street confirms the demonic energy is concentrated here, but the container is wrapped in heavy chains. Lavis shatters the heavy lock with a single punch. The chains fall uselessly to the ground, but he stops, sensing something is very wrong. The foul energy inside makes them both gag. Inside are chests pulsing with dark demonic power. Street is horrified by the sheer quantity of the drug. Lavis realizes this is the entire blue ribbon supply. A painful memory suddenly flashes through his mind. His uncle brutally overpowers a much younger Lavis. The young prince spits curses, refusing to break, but his uncle just sneers, telling him to die. A devastating blow sends Lavis flying backward. He screams, plummeting from the cliff's edge. He screams a curse at his uncle as he falls. The uncle laughs, mocking his pathetic weakness. The long fall seems completely unsurvivable. He crashes at the bottom, battered but alive. But his uncle is already there, taunting him. Lavis stares, confused by his sudden arrival. He sees a field of corpses covered in gnawing flowers. The young prince is horrified by the gruesome sight. A legend speaks of when darkness and light were split. Some beings thrived in the conflict between them. The uncle's story takes them back to primitive times. A flower bloomed where the first beings gathered. It devoured the remains of celestials and demons. The gnawing flower's only desire is total annihilation. The flashback ends, the lesson delivered to a young Lavis. Back in the present, Lavis knows they were all destroyed. So how can this massive stockpile even exist? He reveals the flower first appeared in the human realm, a middle ground where light and darkness mix chaotically. But even humans were supposed to have wiped it out. Lavis realizes someone orchestrated the flower's return. Street agrees a mastermind must be behind this. But a sudden flashlight beam cuts through the dark. They turn, realizing they've been discovered. A new crew emerges, mocking their intrusion. The thugs recognize him from the tattoo parlor assault. Street confirms the leader as the infamous Jin Yi-hee. Yi-hee explodes, demanding to know who he is. He ignores her rage, asking if she manages the drugs. He asks if she knows the drug's raw materials. Yi-hee sneers, asking if he wants their trade secrets. Lavis sighs, saying this isn't really his business. But his demonic eye glows, he can't just ignore this. She reminds her crew what their boss does to failures. She offers them a special distribution of the drug. The thugs are ecstatic, asking if it's really She just smirks, ordering them to eat it now. Her crew eagerly consumes the blue ribbon candy. Lavis orders Street to stay hidden and out of the way. The thugs transform, their faces twisting into demonic masks. Yi-hee orders her powered-up crew to crush him. The demonic thugs charge, but Lavis is unimpressed. His demonic eye glows, ready for the fight. He effortlessly dodges the first attacker's knife. Another thug screams, lunging from behind. Lavis counters with a brutal blow to the face. A hand grabs him by the collar from behind. His demonic eye flares as he prepares to counter. He twists under the thug's arm, preparing a kick. A devastating kick sends the attacker flying. A brutal blow sends Lavis reeling back. He counters, throwing the thug over his shoulder. The man screams as Lavis roars in fury. He slams the attacker into the unforgiving ground. Another thug looms over him for a final blow. From the shadows, Street watches in horror. Yeehee just smirks, enjoying the brutal beatdown. The entire demonic crew charges in for the kill. Lavis is surrounded, blocking every single attack. He realizes this dose made them far stronger. Lavis decides he's had more than enough. His demonic eye flares with crimson light. He unleashes a wave of corrupting energy. The thugs choke, their bodies racked with pain. Lavis hates the vulgar stench of their power, but his own demonic energy reacts to this evil. A thug stumbles forward, weakened by the blast. Lavis meets him with a brutal elbow strike. A vicious kick sends the man to his knees. He ends it with one final, devastating punch. A brutal kick sends another thug flying. He moves like a blur, a whirlwind of destruction. He stomps down hard, shattering the man's leg. The largest thug roars, lunging for the kill. But Lavis dodges, kicking another attacker aside. He grabs the brute, his demonic eye flaring. A devastating slam breaks the ground beneath them. Yeehee watches, stunned by his impossible strength. Lavis stands over them, his fury barely contained. Her confidence shatters into pure, primal terror. His demonic power explodes in a wave of fury. Yeehee stammers, unable to comprehend what he is. His glowing eye promises nothing but destruction. The scene shifts to a prestigious ballet competition. A lone ballerina performs under a single spotlight. Her movements are graceful, her form is perfect. A voice identifies her as a prominent figure's daughter. A woman watches the performance, praising her talent. But her meeting is interrupted by a VIP customer. She explodes, demanding why thugs have barged in. He apologizes, explaining it's a bulk delivery of blue ribbons. The woman in blue recoils, completely stunned by the delivery. Her terrified face is reflected in the jar of drugs. The red-haired thug assures her they handle everything. She nervously asks if the product is actually safe. He smirks, finding her question a little too late. He reveals she already fed the drug to her own daughter. On stage, the ballerina sweats, her eyes wide and strained. Her movements are impossibly fast and powerful. The mother panics, realizing the danger to her daughter, Yuri. The drug's effects take hold, her face contorting. Her body begins to twist in unnatural ways. The thug mocks the mother's desperate gamble. On stage, her performance becomes a grotesque dance. The mother screams for her daughter to stop, but her limbs bend and snap beyond her control. She crashes to the stage in a heap. The horrified audience can only stare in confusion. Security guards watch, unsure what to do. The mother can only watch her daughter's life fall apart. The mother screams, furious they lied about the side effects. The thug smirks, that rule only applies to the recommended dose. Looking at the broken girl, he says there's no hope for her. Now she must keep her daughter drugged just to keep her alive. Her daughter is now an addict, making her a VIP customer. The mother collapses, screaming about her ruined investment. The thug just smirks, completely unmoved by her despair. Her spirit shattered, she bows on the floor before him. His phone buzzes with a call from Jin Yehi. He glances at the call, his expression bored and annoyed. The red-haired thug answers, confused by the screen. It's a photo of a terrified Yehi begging for help. Lavis holds her hostage, asking if he's the drug maker. The thug's eyes widen in disbelief and shock. Lavis's cold gaze confirms he's found his target. The thug turns away, his business with the mother forgotten. He pockets his phone, his mind on the new threat. He tells the customer an urgent matter has come up. The scene cuts back to the container yard at night. Amid the carnage, Lavis asks why humans use drugs. Street calls them stupid and arrogant. Lavis says they take it because they have nothing else to believe in. But Street suddenly spots someone approaching them. Yehi screams a name in absolute terror. Lavis confronts the new arrivals about the tattoo shop. The red-haired leader smirks, asking if Lavis was looking for him. Lavis dismisses him, demanding to know the drug's source. He taunts the thug, saying a mere human shouldn't have it. The leader is stunned by his condescending words. His eyes widen as he realizes Lavis isn't human. The scene cuts to a floor littered with spilled pills. A young boy kicks his father, screaming for his meds. The man grovels, kissing his son's foot in desperation. The father's face contorts, his mind completely gone. The boy stares, wondering if his father is finally dead. He curses his father for dying a pathetic junkie, but his only real concern is for himself. He stomps on his father's head in a rage, screaming about how he'll get his own fix now. But his father's eyes suddenly glow with purple energy. The boy freezes, terrified by the sudden transformation. The boy stammers, asking if his father is still alive. A dark spirit emerges, asking if he mourns the man's death. The boy stares in horror, demanding to know what it is. It offers to return his father if he truly feels sorrow. But the boy just laughs, asking why he would be sad. He screams that he never wanted a junkie for a father. The shadowy entity's glowing eyes narrow in understanding. It offers him a deal: feed the corpse to annoying flower. He takes the flower, promised his deepest desires in return. But the entity warns against ever betraying the flower's power. The entity offers the boy a covenant of protection. The gnawing flower pulses with dark, corrupting power. A crazed, ecstatic smile spreads across his face. He brings the flower down on his father's body. The red-haired leader scoffs at being called human. Lavis notes he must have something to believe in. The thug confirms a master gave him a new life. Lavis realizes he's made a contract with a demon. His demonic eye glows, he pities them both. The thug roars, enraged by the insult to his master. The red-haired leader orders his men to charge. Street leaps into the fray, cackling with glee. He declares this boring, ready to end it now. The scene cuts away to the dark night sky. An ambulance speeds through the city streets. Inside, a woman celebrates the app's soaring drug sales. The I'm Here app is a certified hit at school. She makes a deal, expanding their VIP customer base. Their global enterprise is built on ruined lives. Their leader has already expanded into China and Japan. The attendant is trapped, forced to manage his app. He knows his creation is fueling the drug spread. He's helpless, begging for someone to stop the chaos. The scene cuts back to the carnage at the container yard. Yi-hee screams in terror, their opponent isn't human. Lavis taunts them, asking when the master will show. The leader listens as his demonic master gives an order. The entity's command is simple: kill all who oppose them. He prepares to consume the blue ribbon himself. He swallows the drug, pledging loyalty to Lord Bower Hilt. Yi-hee screams that Lavis is no ordinary high schooler. Lavis feigns ignorance, questioning her drug accusation. The powered-up leader appears behind him, ready to strike. Lavis's expression hardens, sensing the incoming blow. He throws a punch, but Lavis blocks it effortlessly. The thug presses his attack, fueled by demonic energy. Lavis notes his speed is far beyond the others. The leader is stunned, asking if Lavis serves the same master. He fanatically declares his master is his one true god. Lavis finally understands the connection to the gnawing flower. Lavis smirks, naming the master Bower Hilt. The leader freezes, shocked he knows that name. He mocks the thug for choosing such a loser. The leader roars, defending his master's honor. Lavis taunts him, saying Bower is a coward. His words push the thug into a blind rage. He unleashes a furious barrage of demonic strikes. Lavis blocks every blow, unimpressed by his power. The fight explodes into a blur of savage violence. A flashback reveals a younger, more feral Lavis. Lavis remembers Bower as a coward who ran away. He recalls his own brutal past, a stark contrast. He demands to know where that coward is hiding now. The leader explodes, defending his master's name. Demonic claws of energy form around his hands. Lavis recoils, disgusted by the foul stench of his power. He lunges, screaming that all who insult Bower must die. The thug grabs him, ready to tear him apart. His grip tightens, aiming for a killing blow. He heaves Lavis into the air for a devastating slam. The thug slams him into the ground, cracking the earth. But Lavis grits his teeth, refusing to break. His attacker looms over him, ready for the final blow. He pummels Lavis, screaming that Bower's power is his. He roars that everything now belongs to him. The thug has lost all reason to the demonic energy. He struggles under the weight of the crazed assault. From the shadows, Street screams his name in terror. She knows his human body can't take much more. If they were in the demon realm, this would be over. Street fears he can't use his true power. Elsewhere, Bamb watches the fight unfold. He smirks, knowing Lavis could actually die here. A fellow demon asks what Lavis hates most. Bamb complains about Lavis's terrible temper. His rival's face twists in disgust. He spits out a single venomous word: filth. The other demon reveals Lavis is a misophobe. The thug's corrupted hand closes around his wrist. Pinned down, Lavis seethes at the unclean touch. The thug stammers, confused by Lavis's sudden power. Lavis snarls, unable to stand the creature's filth. He grips the man's wrist with crushing force and violently throws him across the ground. Lavis rises, his opponent stumbling back in shock. He looks at his hand, feeling a familiar power return. Even just his left hand feels like his old self. A cold, confident gaze replaces his earlier struggle. The powered-up thug now sweats with genuine fear. He forms an energy whip, refusing to touch the filth. He declares it's time to end this quickly. The energy whip cracks across the thug's face. The leader can't believe a human has this power. Street cheers for her master with tears of joy. But Lavis scoffs at being called a human. He follows up with a devastating punch. The leader is sent flying across the ground. Lavis turns his cold gaze on a terrified Yi. The thug screams, demanding to know what he is. Lavis silences him with another brutal blow. A final, devastating blow sends the thug crashing down. Elsewhere, Bam's subordinate watches in disbelief. Bam explains the stench triggered Lavis's awakening. His extreme hatred of filth is a powerful catalyst. This disgust unlocks a fraction of his true demonic power. The subordinate questions how a human body can handle it. He insists a sinner's vessel should be too weak. But Bam smirks, Lavis is no ordinary demon. He reveals that Lavis takes after him in every way. Back on Earth, that same terrifying power radiates from Lavis. Lavis pins the thug, choking the life from him. He walks away, telling the man to consider himself lucky. This human body is the only thing preventing a murder. The thug can't believe he lost with Bauer's blessing. His hand twitches, reaching for a final gambit. A desperate, crazed idea forms in his mind. He grins, remembering the power of the blue ribbon. But Lavis grabs his wrist, stopping him cold. He promises to end this without killing him. Lavis explodes forward in a blur of motion. Lavis drives a devastating punch into the thug's face. The leader's eye widens in pure, agonizing shock. He slams the man's head into the shattering concrete. Lavis releases his grip, the fight finally. He stares at the blood on his hand with utter disgust. The defeated leader slumps against the wall, completely broken. He lets out a final, agonized, blood-filled scream. Lavis lets out a long, exhausted sigh. He covers his nose, glad the foul stench is fading. Elsewhere, the attendant screams at the app's soaring usage. The attendant stares in horror at his monitor. His mind flashes back to the inescapable high school classroom. He remembers the constant pressure just to survive, forcing yourself to hate others just to fit in. He only wanted to help people find true connections. He screams that he never meant for this to happen. His fingers fly across the keyboard in a blur. He's desperately trying to code a solution. But something is wrong, an error pops up. He grits his teeth, racing against the clock. He grabs a chair, making a desperate move. He barricades the door, buying himself precious seconds. His guards pound on the door, screaming in panic. His one goal, permanently delete his own creation. He pleads for the program to run faster, but a security alarm blares across the monitor. The guards shatter the glass, breaking through the wall. They storm the room, screaming in absolute fury. A brutal punch sends him reeling from the desk. But on the screen, the deletion process has begun. The guards panic, terrified of their approaching boss. He endures the beating, focused only on the deletion. His hand closes around a shard of broken glass. He lunges, slashing a guard in a desperate move. He scrambles across the glass-strewn floor. He grabs a fire extinguisher, his last hope. Tears stream down his face, his resolve hardening. He aims the extinguisher, screaming in pure defiance. He blasts them, filling the room with a choking cloud. Through the haze, the deletion bar is nearly full. The deletion process finally reaches 100%. He weeps with relief, realizing he's succeeded. But the lead guard lunges, screaming in pure rage. A brutal punch sends the attendant reeling. He pins him to the ground, demanding restraints. The other guards stumble, blinded by the smoke. The guard chokes him, squeezing the life from him. The attendant gives up, knowing this is the end. The guard's face twists into a mask of fury. A shadowy figure appears, asking who touched his attendant. The guard freezes, startled by the new voice. A hand suddenly grabs him by the face. He's slammed into his partner with brutal force. The guards recognize their boss, Seongjun. Seongjun grabs the attendant, his face cold. The guards scream, terrified by his sudden rage. His demonic eye glows with crimson fury. He unleashes a whirlwind of devastating attacks. The guards are thrown aside like broken dolls. He declares no one touches what is his. Seongjun holds the beaten attendant, calling out to Minyu. A flashback reveals Minyu showing his friend a new app. He explains the I'm Here app connects local users. A younger Seongjun is amazed by his friend's creation. Seongjun asks about a strange red alarm button. Minyu remembers when Bullies dragged Seongjun away. He felt helpless, unable to find his friend in time. So he added an emergency alert to the app. He promises to always be there if Seongjun is in trouble. Seongjun smiles, touched by his friend's heartfelt promise. Seongjun happily agrees to download his friend's app. Back in the present, he calls out to a crying Minyu. He asks if Minyu sent the emergency signal. Minyu confirms he sent the alert, hoping he'd come. The I'm Here app fulfilled its true purpose. Tears of pure relief stream down his face. He thanks his friend for saving his life. Minyu bows to the ground, utterly broken but grateful. Elsewhere, Street drags a screaming Yi down an alley. She struggles to restrain the furious, struggling tattoo artist. Street calls up to Lavis, still restraining her prisoner. Yi screams at him to leave them, saying she's useless now. Lavis notes that all the annoying flowers have disappeared. The scene cuts to a massive, raging inferno. First responders scramble to contain the out-of-control blaze. The entire area is a chaotic scene of fire and smoke. Amid the chaos, they find bodies scattered everywhere. An officer stares in horror at the gruesome discovery. The red-haired leader is among the dead, his eyes vacant. Their work done, Lavis and his new companions walk away. Minyu looks on, still shaken by the ordeal. Street hums a cheerful tune, her mission a success. But Lavis feels like his uncle is just using him. He vows to make Vanber pay when he returns home. Someone asks if he's sure he doesn't need a hospital. Back at Minyu's, Lavis dismisses the idea as annoying. Minyu thanks him, shocked he actually answered the SOS. Lavis seems confused by his friend's gratitude. He starts to say it was a coincidence, but Street stops him. She demands he not downplay his heroic rescue. He threatens his prisoner for the location of her hideout. She asks if he's doing all this for his friend, Lim Xian. Lavis only remembers Xian as his school slave. As she demands his true motive, his phone buzzes. It's the emergency SOS signal from Minyu's app. Back in the present, Street scolds him for his coldness. She asks if he'll just leave after his time here is up. She insists Minyu now sees him as a true hero. Lavis casually introduces her as his subordinate, Street. Minyu stares, completely stunned by the strange introduction. Minyu questions Lavis's sudden, impossible transformation. He trails off, too scared to voice his suspicion. He's convinced his friend has joined a dangerous organization. Lavis realizes he can't keep his secret forever. He reveals his true name, Lavis Vindica, a demon prince. Minyu just stares, his brain completely short-circuiting. Lavis declares Minyu must now assist with his work. Minyu struggles to believe the ridiculous story. His expression is a mix of confusion and disbelief. But Street the cat interrupts his train of thought. Lavis dismisses Minyu, too tired to explain himself. He orders Street to handle the unbelievable explanation. Minyu screams, his mind breaking at the talking cat. The shock is too much, he completely passes out. Elsewhere, the defeated thug escapes in a van. His subordinate confirms they destroyed all the evidence. He seethes with rage, obsessed with his defeat. But a hooded figure approaches one of the thugs. It silences him with a single chilling touch. The man's consciousness fades, his body going limp. The hooded figure stands over the fallen thug. Bam pities the miserable state of his pawn. The leader screams, vowing revenge against Lavis. Bam offers the broken man a new deal. At the fire, police investigate the aftermath. An officer wonders who took down the dealers. The drug was somehow officially approved by the government. She seethes, knowing it's already reached the schools. A sudden headache hits as she spots a fallen officer. She rushes to help, but he points toward the car. The officer looks inside, but the suspect is gone. She curses, demanding to know where he went. The scene shifts to a secluded, imposing building. The defeated thug begs Lord Bauer for another chance. He screams for more drugs, vowing to kill his opponent. But his master scolds him for the flowers he burned. The demon lord consumes the gnawing flower himself. He reveals a room filled with bodies used for cultivation. He laments trusting worthless humans with his precious flowers. But the thug just screams, desperate for another chance at revenge. Bauer Hilt's patience has finally run out. He moves in a blur of demonic speed, shoving a gnawing flower into the thug's eye. The man collapses, screaming in blinding agony. Bauer reminds him of the blood oath he swore. He must now prove his loyalty with his own body. The scene shifts to a dark city building. Yahi frantically searches for a way to escape, but a strange figure appears right behind her. She explains the police have raided their office. A crazed addict appears, brandishing a knife. Yihi recoils, demanding to know who he is. He blames her for his pain, begging for more drugs. She screams, accusing him of taking too much. She spots broken sticks, looking for an opening. Yihi lunges, grabbing a weapon to fight back. But he easily overpowers her in a flash. They both crash to the ground, the fight over. The man grovels, his mind lost to withdrawal. A grotesque demon bursts from his body, screaming for the drug. Yihi struggles, bleeding out on the floor. Tears stream down her face, she doesn't want to die. The addict's body is consumed by dark energy. He screams as the shadows completely envelop him. Bam smirks, knowing Lavis will hate this film. Yihi begs for anyone to save her. But Bam says he can't, telling her to accept hell. She stares up, his cruel words echoing in her mind. He grins, promising to leave her body behind. The scene shifts to a grand, ominous cathedral. A massive, pink-haired demon greets his brother, but a demoness accuses him of plotting against Lavis. She explodes with rage, furious he used her son. He just smirks, asking if she finally caught on. He reveals he put a demonic bloodstone inside Lavis. She screams he's insane, exposing the prince to danger. He tells his sister she needs to trust Lavis more, but she doesn't trust the state of the world itself. The balance is fragile, one crack could shatter everything. He insists Lavis is strong, a warrior just like him. She smacks him, screaming about the danger to Lavis. He complains, but she orders him to find a solution. A third demon tries to calm the chaotic family. He marvels that Lavis survived such a childhood. The scene cuts back to the quiet city at night. Minyu trembles, finally accepting the impossible truth. Lavis confirms their identity, much to Street's delight. Minyu asks about hell, but Lavis offers protection. He declares himself Minyu's master, but the boy refuses. Lavis threatens him with a truly gruesome punishment. Minyu's mind races, trying to understand the truth. He asks what happened to the real Seongjun. Street explains the original soul was fated to die. Minyu crumbles, asking why his friend had to die. Lavis casually says they'll all meet in hell soon. Minyu resigns himself to an eternity in the demon realm. Street gleefully describes a home of blood and screams. Lavis orders him to treat him normally and keep quiet. The terrified boy can only agree, completely broken. His body aching, Lavis leaves with Street in tow. The scene shifts to a quiet apartment building. Lavis clutches his head, feeling the bloodstones strain. Suddenly, a young woman appears with a birthday cake. It's his birthday, a fact he clearly didn't know. She puts a party hat on him, awaiting their parents. She pulls him in for an awkward birthday selfie, but he notices a fresh scratch on her cheek. She nervously explains she defended an old woman. He finds her selfless weakness peculiar and unnecessary. She quickly changes the subject, offering him cake. She feeds him a bite, but he looks disgusted. But the sweet taste is a shocking new sensation. He's overwhelmed, cursing his own surprised reaction. Their father storms in, screaming for his men to find his attackers. He blames his own men, punching one for his failure. The mother begs him to stop, but he's lost in his rage. He violently strikes her, screaming for her to let go. The sister screams for him to stop, defending her mother. Her defiance only enrages him further. His furious gaze lands on the birthday cake. He scoffs at them for celebrating his public failure. He shoves the sister away, his rage building. He screams about their selfishness, winding up a strike, and smashes the cake into 1,000 pieces. The mother pleads, reminding him it's their son's birth. But he scoffs, completely unmoved by her plea. His cold gaze falls on Lavis, who remains silent. He grabs his son, dragging him from the room. The door slams shut, leaving the family behind. Lavis glances back at the ruined birthday celebration. Lavis's eyes glow, furious about his ruined cake. The mother and sister can only weep in despair. He glances back at his broken, weeping family. He scoffs at the pathetic arrogance of the human. The scene cuts to a large corporate building. Inside, the father rages about a man who vanished. He needs to bribe a politician, but his man is gone. His subordinate promises to find the missing person. The father seethes, hating his need for public approval. An aide bursts in. A video of the sister is now viral. The father demands to know what video is so urgent. The tablet shows his daughter confronting some thugs. She screams at them for bullying an elderly woman. The father watches the confrontation with a cold expression. The video ends with her comforting the grateful woman. His aide explains this is a massive PR opportunity. A slow, calculating smile spreads across his face. He sees a way to exploit his daughter's good deed. The scene shifts to a massive corporate building. A smug-looking man calls two people forward. A new group watches their leader's next vessel. The target is a cheerful high school girl. The leader asks her subordinate if she's jealous. She explains the girl has the face she paid for. That girl will soon become her new body. She despises how human bodies age and wither. Finding this perfect vessel was simply fate. Her subordinate calls the girl a pretty doll and wonders what sound she'll make when she breaks. The news reveals the girl is the mayoral candidate's daughter. Public support for his daughter is now #1. Her viral video is even making the evening news. He sees his once troublesome daughter as a blessing. He orders his aide to schedule more volunteer work. But an unexpected call comes from Nox Entertainment. Their CEO saw the video and is very interested. A dark, calculating smile spreads across his face. He revels in his good fortune, calling her a treasure. Elsewhere, a student learns Minho's stepdad is a candidate. His friend confirms Minho never talks about his family. A student recalls how much Minho cherished his sister. Lavis remembers his uncle's advice to cherish his assets. A flashback shows his uncle being obnoxiously loud. Lavis's expression is one of pure annoyance. He seems completely unbothered by the conversation. Lavis asks why Minyu is following him down the alley. Street presents a note left behind by Ban. The note congratulates him and promises a gift. Lavis explodes, furious at being manipulated by his uncle. The scene cuts to a phone showing the mayoral candidate. Minyu's friend says his father might actually win. Lavis scoffs at such a man ruling an entire city. He compares the father's greed to a Cinerus. Minyu asks if the candidate could be a demon. Street explains a Cinerus is a gluttonous underworld creature, but she insists the candidate is just a human. Lavis remains suspicious, seeing the world's corruption. He warns Street not to become a glutton herself. Lavis sees the father's intent to exploit his daughter. He contemplates the fate of the two siblings. The scene shifts back to the family's apartment. Lavis watches, wondering about his sister's fate. The Nox CEO's team praises the sister's potential. The mother objects, but the father silences her. He insists it's wrong to hide such natural talent. The father apologizes for his wife's hesitation. The CEO promises she can balance school and work. Her subordinate adds that idols get into any university. But Lavis senses something deeply wrong with him. The father eagerly prepares to sign the contract. The CEO promises the contract will secure their futures. The sister clenches her fist, trapped and powerless. The CEO turns, introducing herself to Lavis. Lavis returns her greeting with a cold, suspicious glare. His father demands he show the proper respect, but the CEO smoothly dismisses his rude behavior. Lavis recalls how much the real Minho loved his sister. A flashback reveals his uncle's promise of loyalty. A younger Lavis scoffs at the sudden declaration. He recalls a warning about enemies seeking the ruler's power. His uncle reminds him of his destiny as heir. But Lavis scoffs, trusting only his own strength. His uncle laughs, saying he'll eventually need allies. He predicts Lavis will change without even knowing it. The young prince just glares, completely unimpressed. He demands they stop talking and just train already. Back in the present, Lavis grabs his sister's arm. He asks if she really wants to do this. She looks up, startled by his sudden concern. He promises to get her out if she's being forced. The sister looks down, unable to meet his gaze. A flashback reveals another abusive relative's rage. The mother screams that he can't take her children. He threatens to abandon them with nothing. The children watch, terrified by his cruel words. He chokes their mother, teaching a lesson in grief. That brutal memory hardens her resolve. She looks up, declaring this is her choice. She agrees to sign the idol contract. But she has one condition: the money is hers. She vows to save her mother and brother from that monster. The father happily agrees, her earnings will be her own. The CEO confirms the deal, eager to sign the contract. The mother begs the CEO to protect her precious daughter. She tearfully asks Minha if she is truly certain. Minha smiles, telling her mother to trust her decision. She thanks Lavis for his concern, putting on a brave face. Lavis watches silently, his gaze cold and suspicious. The CEO's luxury car speeds away into the night. She praises her choice for a perfect new vessel. The CEO praises Minha's rare purity and perfect looks. Her subordinate notes that her brother Minho seemed off. She asks her other aide, Youngmoo, for her thoughts. Youngmoo is absolutely certain he is not human. The CEO speculates he could be a demon realm tracker. Her son eagerly offers to handle the problem now, but she orders him to wait. Minha is the priority. After the ritual, he can do whatever he wants to Lavis. She promises this will be her special gift to him, but Youngmoo mentions Mara, triggering the CEO's rage. The CEO silences her aide, forbidding a certain name. She vows she will be reborn and will not fail this time. The next day, Minha arrives at the towering agency. She takes a deep breath, stealing her resolve. She takes her first step into her new life. Inside, the CEO introduces her as their newest member. She's immediately named the center of the new idol group. The original center protests but is coldly demoted. The other trainees glare, their jealousy burning. The door slams shut, trapping her with her new rivals. The demoted center accuses her of using connections. She screams about the spot she bled 4 years for. Her rage explodes into a violent, sudden attack. She vows to show her what real power looks like. Minha touches the fresh, bleeding wound on her face. Blood trickles down from the deep, vicious scratch. Elsewhere, the CEO's aide enters a private room. Her son watches the assault, calling it epic. He excitedly points to the screen as she enters. He gleefully reports that Hyan has drawn blood. Minha stands in stunned silence, her hand on her cheek. The CEO seethes, calling the attacker a worthless worm. Her demonic form emerges, furious her vessel was scarred. Elsewhere, Minyu and Street discuss Minha's debut. Street boasts about her 200 years of human experience. Lavis says it's not his business, but he's suspicious. They didn't flinch at his glare, arousing his suspicion. Street confirms that powerful demons can hide their auras. She warns him not to act rashly in Minho's body. Minyu chides him, saying no one likes his intense glare. Lavis insists he can always spot a fellow demon, but he's frustrated he couldn't find someone named Barca. He threatens to send Minyu to a hellish boot camp. He fumes that his weakened state makes him pathetic. Street confirms she found a way to restore his power. Lavis orders Minyu to become his first official servant. Elsewhere, the demoted idol walks home in despair. She weeps, her 4 years of training now wasted. Suddenly, a massive blade slams into the ground. She spins around, terrified by the sudden arrival. A dual-wielding enforcer appears from the shadows. Hyen stammers, asking if she did something wrong. She tearfully apologizes for attacking Minha, but the enforcer's eyes are cold and unforgiving. She moves in a blur of crimson violence. Blood splatters across the alley wall. She asks why Hyen dared to scar the vessel. Her mother hates when her things are damaged. Elsewhere, a man brings his pregnant wife chicken, but a slimy demon watches them from the shadows. The slimy demon reveals its grotesque, hungry form. The scene shifts to a quiet apartment building at night. A pregnant woman is trapped in a terrifying nightmare. Her eyes fly open, sensing a presence in the room. The demon looms over her bed, admiring its prey. It grabs her face, vowing to crush all humans. It lifts her husband, promising to raise their child. She screams in horror, realizing its true target. A slimy parasite leaps from the demon's body and burrows into her, claiming the unborn child. The woman's face contorts into a horrifying, drooling grin. Her husband wakes up, asking about the strange sound. He turns to face her, his eyes widening in terror. In a blur of motion, she lunges from the bed. Her hand clamps around his throat as she questions him. She scoffs, disgusted by his low-class appearance. He cries out in terror, demanding to know who she is. She shoves him away, dismissing his pathetic question. He's thrown through the window, screaming her name. Blood splatters across the view as he plummets. The demon cackles, cradling its new vessel. She declares the woman's body is now hers. Time passes, she's in a hospital delivery room. She attacks the doctors, screaming in agony. She demands they remove the filthy things inside her. She screams a name, blaming someone called Ineas. A flashback reveals a powerful, horned demoness. The terrified nurses don't understand what's happening. The newborn twins have glowing, demonic red eyes. Later, she scoffs at her body and the hideous children. The demonic twins crawl, calling out for their mother. She kicks one, demanding they repay her for their power. She orders them to grow up fast and protect her. Years later, people gossip about her erratic behavior. They say she's never home and hides her children. She corners a man who works in broadcasting. She asks if he knows any attractive young people. The man stammers, caught off guard by her request. A dark purple aura begins to envelop him. He falls under her spell, his will completely gone. She vows to make every beautiful human her own. And one day she will kill Ineas with her own hands. The CEO tearfully tells police Hyen was a beloved trainee. A detective questions her about potential grudges or stalkers. Her son asks if she's all right as she feigns sickness. He ends the interview, claiming she loved Hyen like a daughter. A flashback shows Youngmu telling Minha to meet the others. Back in the present, the lead detective prepares to leave. He calls out to his partner, Detective Park Seong-hoon. But Detective Park glances back, her expression suspicious. The office door slams shut, hiding the scene. Inside, the CEO looks deathly ill, clutching a cloth. She vomits a torrent of green slime and worms. The grotesque parasites writhe on the floor. She rages about the detective who won't back down. Her son tries to calm her, seeing the decay. The CEO screams that her vessel is rotting away. He promises to secure Minha's body for her soon. She demands he hurry before she completely falls apart. Elsewhere, a camera records the remaining trainees. The other trainees gossip about the violent attack. A manager announces they're all moving into dorms for safety. Minha questions if the move is absolutely necessary. A male trainee scoffs, saying dorms are standard practice, but she worries about leaving her family unprotected. The enforcer Yong-ai glares, her patience wearing thin. Her brother quickly tries to de-escalate the situation. He reminds her their mother would kill her for scarring the vessel. He warns Minha not to anger the grieving enforcer. Minha is ordered to pack her bags for tomorrow. Minha worries about the dorms, anxious over her brother's changes. Elsewhere, someone strains through an intense late-night workout. Minyu struggles with tiny weights as Lavis scoffs at his training. He feels his demonic power growing, but knows he's still vulnerable. He curses his uncle for not explaining how to control the bloodstone. A flashback reveals Bamb writing the note, offering 2 gifts. The first gift is instructions on controlling the demon bloodstone. The stone links his sealed demonic power to his human vessel. But to unlock his power, the stone in his eye must be shattered. His second gift is a mysterious child, now Lavis's responsibility. Bamb smugly finishes the letter with the instructions, but Lavis rips it up, refusing to be his uncle's pawn. Minyu asks if the instructions were in that letter. Suddenly, Street bursts in, screaming in a panic. Minyu stares, shocked she's running on 2 legs. She has news about the CEO and the demonic twins. She screams that the CEO is actually a demon named Mara. Minyu has no idea who she's talking about. Street reveals Mara is the Witch of Greed, a top-tier demon. A slow, dangerous smile spreads across Lavis's face. Lavis smirks, finally knowing where his target is hiding. A flashback reveals the demon realm's goddess, Lady Ineas. She preaches that true beauty comes from speaking truth. A fawning demoness vows to follow her wise words. Another boasts of teaching her daughter to emulate Inya's. Inya's offers to grant the child a special blessing, but from the shadows a jealous demon watches. It's Mara scoffing at the sycophantic display. Her daughter compliments her, but Mara is unimpressed. She offers a dark blessing, a curse of desire and death. Her daughter recoils, terrified by the dark blessing. Mara seethes, her hatred a simmering promise. She vows to never forgive the slight, screaming Inyas's name. Street realizes Mara's rage is just pure jealousy. Lavis says his mother knew of her envy but ignored it. Caught stealing souls, Mara fled to the human world. Minyu asks if Mara targeted Manhwa because she knows his identity. Lavis doubts it, she would have attacked him by now. In his weakened state, he's no match for her or her followers. Street declares they must strengthen the demon bloodstone immediately. Street announces the first step, cleaning up the riffraff. The scene shifts to a large supermarket. The mother worries, offering Manhwa a chance to quit. Manhwa reassures her, dismissing the recent murder. Her mother sadly recalls her dream of being a vet. But Manhwa's expression hardens with resolve. She knows her old dream would take far too long. She needs to save her mother from that house now. Her hand tightens on the shopping cart handle. She forces a smile, vowing to get rich and famous. Manhwa reassures her, saying the abuse will lessen after the election. Her mother apologizes, her face etched with regret. She blames herself for remarrying and causing this pain. But Manhwa refuses to let her take the blame. A flashback reveals how the man deceived them all. The mother can only look on, her heart breaking. Manhwa forces a smile, promising to work hard for them. The scene shifts to the joyful screams of an amusement park. A roller coaster plummets, its riders screaming in terror. But Lavis scoffs, unimpressed by their pathetic fear. Minyu yells at Lavis, blaming his sickness on bad food. Lavis scoffs, vowing to never ride that thing again. They arrive at a haunted house, shrouded in dark energy. Lavis confirms with Street that this is their target location. She explains an escaped demon is hiding inside. Lavis asks for the demon's name, his expression serious. Street reveals it's a creature that feeds on screams. She suggests they need someone who screams well as bait. Lavis eyes Minyu, who insists he's completely fearless. Lavis drags the terrified boy inside to be the lure. Lavis scoffs at the fake horrors around them. He tells the terrified Minyu to stop overreacting. Suddenly, a grotesque puppet lunges from the dark. Both boys scream, caught completely off guard. Minyu calls him out, but Lavis denies being scared. He claims it was a tactic to lure out their prey. In the shadows, a glowing green eye snaps open. The demon Bloodstone reacts to the nearby evil. Absorbing this demon will unlock more of his power. The creature appears, drawn by their delicious fear. The demon relishes their pure, delicious screams. It lunges forward, hungry for more of their terror. The creature's claw reaches for the terrified Minyu, but Lavis's hand intercepts the sudden attack. He declares the boy is his attendant and off-limits. The demon's eye narrows, sensing he isn't human. Lavis grins, eager to hear what the demon sounds like. He unleashes a powerful kick, sending it flying back. But the creature happily absorbs Minyu's terrified scream. Lavis lands, noting only his left hand is usable now. Lavis charges forward, his fist glowing with demonic power. The creature taunts him, asking where he's crawling to. It unleashes a blast, sending Lavis flying backward. Minyu screams a warning as the demon closes in. The creature absorbs his scream, growing even stronger. Lavis orders Minyu to shut up, his fear is its food. The demon relishes the terror in Lavis's eyes. It threatens to turn his eyes into a pair of earrings. Lavis's demonic eye flares, asking who is truly terrified. He screams back, refusing to show any fear. He strikes with demonic fury, but the creature mocks him. It easily dodges, calling his pathetic attempt adorable. He realizes this body can't handle even low-level demons. The creature grabs him, tossing him aside like a doll. Minyu covers his mouth, terrified for his master. Pinned to the ground, Lavis struggles against its grip. The demon forges a glowing blade from Minyu's screams. It threatens to gouge out his eyes with the new weapon. Lavis seethes, refusing to give the demon any satisfaction. The creature grins, ready to test his resolve. The blade nears, but his demonic eye flares with power. The crystal weapon shatters against the demon Bloodstone. Minyu watches in absolute horror, unable to scream. Blood and red shards fall from his shattered eye. The creature stares, completely baffled by this turn of events. Lavis smirks through the blood, feeling a strange new power. His vision clears, revealing a monstrous, fully demonic eye. A flashback shows his uncle writing the secret instructions. The letter explains his power unlocks when the Bloodstone shatters. He realizes his uncle hid this critical condition from him. The demon reels, shocked its blade couldn't pierce an eye. Lavis declares he's no mere human, unleashing his power. The creature is blasted back by the sudden energy surge. He turns to Minyu, ordering him to keep screaming. Minyu protests, saying it will only feed the demon. Conflicted, he decides he has to trust Lavis's plan. He takes a deep breath, steeling his nerves. and lets out the most powerful scream of his life. The demon happily absorbs the delicious, powerful scream. As the bloodstone opens, a seal on his leg begins to break. Minyu unleashes a desperate, powerful scream. The demon cackles, mocking Lavis for feeding it. But Lavis reveals its fatal flaw: it gets sluggish. He crouches, power surging through his unsealed leg. Lavis lunges, demanding to hear the demon's scream. A massive blast of demonic energy erupts. He lands a devastating kick, overwhelming the creature. He feels his power now that the bloodstone is broken. He unleashes a relentless, furious assault. Absorbing this evil will restore his true strength. The demon's eye shatters under the immense power. Its form dissolves into nothing but dark energy. The creature is completely and utterly annihilated. Lavis looks up, feeling the surge of new power. This energy is far beyond any human evil. He'll absorb all evil to regain his true strength. Minyu asks if he's okay, shaken by the sight. Lavis grins, ready to hunt the next demon. The scene shifts to the Nox Entertainment building. Manhwa arrives at the dorms with her escort. The enforcer orders her to unpack and stay put. Manhwa meekly agrees, her spirit clearly broken. The door slams, trapping her inside the room. She grits her teeth, fighting back her fear, and clenches her fist with grim determination. She forces a smile, vowing she can do this. But her eyes catch a camera in the corner. A single, unblinking eye watches her every move. Elsewhere, the CEO watches her through the monitor. Her son promises to begin the possession ritual now. A cloaked figure mocks a horned demon's fall from grace. The demon warns them to watch out for his flowers. Mara admits her weakness, her human vessel is failing. But the horned demon reveals his children will protect him. Mara scoffs at the human-demon hybrids. He dismisses Mara's followers as smelly weeds. The insult triggers Mara's absolute fury. Her rage explodes in a flurry of purple energy. A tendril of dark power lashes out. Her attack ensnares the demon's shocked son. Her follower cackles, holding the captured demon's son. A flashback shows Mara raging about a difficult theft. She force-feeds a purple liquid to her crying children. The substance is from the demonic soul spring. It's a source of magic born from a god's tears. This holy water is the only thing that sates her greed. She rages at the horned demon for monopolizing it. She orders her children to drink it and protect her. They must guard her until she finds someone named Cirkil. Back in the present, the group tracks Mara's scent. Street confirms they have arrived at the right place. Lavis carries her as Minyu stares at the building. She sadly complains that her powerful nose is now useless. Minyu desperately begs Lavis to save his sister. Lavis agrees, dragging the reluctant boy toward the entrance. He coldly informs Minyu he'll make a decent shield. Street cheers from the sidelines, telling him to defeat Mara. But Lavis orders her to come along, they need numbers. She freezes, terrified at being forced into the fight. She trembles, wishing she had stayed with Lord Ban. The ritual begins, runes glowing with dark power. Manhwa stands entranced as a voice calls her forward. A flashback reveals a demon begging Mara for his life. Her son gleefully claims the groveling demon as his servant. Mara scoffs at the pathetic, bloodied creature before her. She gathers her followers, a traitor, a runaway, and her twins. But their meeting is interrupted by Lavis's arrival. Minyu stares in horror at the rows of preserved corpses. A man covered in flowers, Wai Youngmu, blocks their path. He reveals he saved someone, demanding their loyalty in return. Minyu stares, horrified by the true demon world. The bloodied demon accuses Youngmu of ruining his plan. Youngmu smirks, confirming his suspicions about Lavis. Street proudly reveals his identity, Lord Lavis Vindica. The bloodied demon explodes, recognizing Ineas's son. He and his son scream his name, the butcher of their family. But he realizes Lavis is now trapped in a human body. He clenches his fist, vowing to avenge his family. Mara rages that her rival sent her son to interfere. Lavis knows he's outmatched with a traitor at his back. Lavis dismisses the demon, saving him for later. Bauer screams, vowing to kill the weakened prince himself. Lavis snaps, his demonic eye flaring with rage. The demon reels back, stunned by the sudden outburst. He declares his return as the Lord of Blood. Bauer stammers, shocked he can use magic in a human body. Suddenly, Youngmu kicks the demon out of the way. Bauer is sent flying out of the building. Lavis turns to Mara, mocking her for stealing a body. His insult enrages Mara and her followers. Her son warns her not to push her failing body. But Mara just smiles, her curiosity now piqued. She wonders how Ineas will react to her son's death. Youngmu shares her cruel, sadistic desire. She orders her children to bring her Lavis's tongue. One of her sons summons a massive, spiked flail. He grins, eager to prove himself to his mother. His sister draws two enormous, glowing blades. He tells her to stand down, he can handle this alone. The room explodes into a blur of violent combat. The enforcer, Hansu, tells Lavis to stay out of it. Her brother Han Young screams that she's in his way. She orders him to shut up and just watch her back. Lavis notes their complete lack of teamwork. He taunts them knowing they'll tear each other apart. Han Young screams as his sister's blade nearly hits him. Lavis plans to exploit their clashing personalities. Their demonic blades clash in a shower of sparks. Lavis expertly parries her relentless, sweeping attack. Her brother's flail is blocked by her own blade again. Hansu scoffs, furious with her brother's interference. Lavis parries her blades in a furious exchange. He notes their power, wondering what Mara did to them. Han Young screams that he will claim Lavis's tongue. The spiked flail slams into his arm, drawing blood, but his sister declares she will take his head. Her blades slash across his chest, wounding him. She's stunned he dodged the fatal blow mid-attack. Han Young yells that Lavis is supposed to die by his hand. The chaotic three-way battle rages across the floor. A blur of purple energy as their weapons clash. Lavis struggles to block the Enforcer's dual blades. She seethes with rage, determined to kill him. He's forced back, dodging her relentless assault. Knowing he's outmatched, he decides to provoke them. The taunt works, her brother absolutely explodes. He attacks his own sister, to Lavis's surprise. The siblings' weapons clash in a furious shower of sparks. She screams at her brother for his reckless charge, but he vows to be the one to claim Lavis's corpse. Lavis sees his opening as the brother gets reckless. He smirks knowing his opponent is finally in range. Nearby, a blue-haired demoness mocks Mara's grotesque form. Mara explodes with rage, furious at the insult. The demoness is blasted back, calling out to Lord Shin. The boy Shin rushes toward Minha's ritual sphere. He places his hands on the barrier, trying to break it. The energy burns him, shifting from hot to cold. He struggles, seeing Minha unconscious inside the circle. He desperately calls her name, begging her to wake up. The blue-haired demoness clashes fiercely with Mara. She urges Shin to save Minha while she holds the line. Shin slams his hands against the impenetrable barrier. The dark energy sears his palms raw. He despairs, feeling utterly powerless as a human. A memory of happier days with his friends flashes by, but his resolve hardens through the pain. He screams, vowing to save Minha no matter the cost. He strikes the barrier with everything he has left. But Mara's tendrils ensnare his ally, who cries out in agony. Youngmu taunts the demoness, ending her beast play. She's stunned he's so strong in a rotting body. He scoffs, asking if she underestimated him. He unleashes a barrage of purple energy spikes. She's slammed against the wall, impaled and screaming. He tells Shin to watch how vermin are dealt with. The demoness screams for Lord Shin to run. Shin turns, horrified, as tendrils close in. A grotesque slime creature engulfs the boy completely. Youngmu grins, vowing to use them both as nourishment. Shin is paralyzed, trapped within the grotesque slime. Mara has wasted enough time on these interruptions. She chants an oath, discarding her rotting flesh. The ritual completes, Minha's eyes glow with dark power. Lavis sees he's too late, crying out in denial. He summons a blade of pure demonic energy. His demonic eye burns with cold, murderous intent. He clashes with both siblings in a furious assault, but their combined strength sends him flying backward. Hansu stops her brother, demanding she gets the kill. Suddenly, Han Young is ensnared by purple chains. He's yanked backward, completely caught off guard. His mouth is taped shut, silencing his protests. He's dragged helplessly into the shadows. A new demoness chides them for bullying Lavis. Nearby, a white-haired figure spews a dark slime. The grotesque substance pours from its mouth and is forced down the captured boy's throat. He chokes, unable to fight back the assault. He collapses to the floor, tears in his eyes. Mara cackles, finally claiming her perfect vessel. Her old, rotting body is left discarded on the floor. She revels in the sensation of a fresh body. She vows to enjoy this youthful beauty forever. Minyu screams, horrified by the transformation. Street cries out, watching Minha's body get stolen. But Hansu blocks Lavis, demanding his attention. He seethes with rage, knowing he was too late. The new demoness swoons over Lavis's new look. Wounded and outnumbered, Lavis prepares to fight on. The new demoness, Belsha, panics, knowing Lavis is in danger. But she's too embarrassed to intervene and get his attention. The thought of him noticing her is just too much to handle. Meanwhile, Han Young lies helpless on the floor. He struggles against his bonds, unable to call for help. His sister Hansu finally notices his predicament. Lavis sees his opening while the Enforcer is distracted. He lunges forward, striking with blinding speed. Mara turns, her new eyes glowing with demonic power. She casually asks Hansu what she's doing down there. Hansu hits the floor, stunned by Lavis's swift strike. Belsha binds her, asking where the little brat disappeared to. Mara preens in her new body, asking her daughter how she looks. Minyu watches in horror, believing his sister is lost forever. But Street screams that Minha's soul hasn't disappeared. Lavis turns, shocked by this sudden glimmer of hope. Street explains that on a moonless night, all magic is unstable. Mara's ritual won't be complete until the night ends. The demon's eye widens, realizing her plan is exposed. Minha's soul fights back, begging her brother to save her. Lavis realizes Minha's soul is still fighting, but Mara just grins, enjoying the chaos. She taunts them, perfectly mimicking Minha's voice. Lavis explodes with rage at her cruel mockery. Mara's arm transforms, ready to end this now. Her son charges forward, eager to kill them all. Lavis seethes, humiliated by his earlier struggle. He turns to the captured demons with a new plan. Mara licks her lips, deciding who to devour first. On the floor, a small, forgotten orb glows faintly. Mara looks down, noticing the glowing orb on the floor. The orb cracks open, releasing a surge of red energy. A tiny, furious demon emerges from within the light. It unleashes a powerful attack, ensnaring a shocked Mara. Lavis recognizes the creature with a look of disbelief. The scene shifts to a new day, a new location. A blue-haired girl with horns smells blood in the air. She congratulates Lavis on recovering his demonic energy. Strit, now in a new form, pledges her undying loyalty. Lavis orders her to track Mara and find their next targets. He needs her to find targets to absorb their power. Elsewhere, a cigarette is lit, releasing dark energy. A demon called Apep feeds on the smoker's evil. But Lavis's hand suddenly grabs the creature. His demonic eye glows as he drags it away. A flash of pink energy obliterates the demon. Lavis gags, disgusted by the lingering stench. Without a moment's rest, he moves to the next target. A new demon, Aska, feeds on a drunk man's memories. Lavis wonders why so many demons feed on humans. Lavis explains demons lose their power and must feed to survive. Minyu is stunned. Ghost possession isn't just a myth. With enough mana, Lavis decides to test his power. Minyu stares in awe at the glowing red energy. He summons his demonic blade, the Damrakle, still incomplete. Minyu worries about sending Strit out on her own. Lavis assures him her tiny energy signature is perfect for stealth. Elsewhere, Strit hangs from a branch in her bat form. Her stomach growls, she's going to starve at this rate. Suddenly, her eyes lock onto a potential target. Strit dives from the sky, spotting a quick meal. She triumphantly snags the wriggling insect. But her victory turns to shock and confusion. The grub is pulsing with Mara's demonic energy. She abandons her food, racing to warn Lord Lavis. Elsewhere, a car approaches an underground garage. The luxury vehicle descends into the darkness. Inside, Han Young holds an unconscious girl captive. A cloaked figure cackles, praising her son's work. He turns to the girl, ready for the next step. The captured girl grimaces, trapped in a nightmare. Elsewhere, Strit tries to speak around a mouthful of bug. She spits it out, frantically showing it to Lavis. He confirms it's a parasite from the demon Mara. This proves her current human vessel is decaying. Minyu realizes the idol offer was a trap for Minha. Lavis scoffs at the ancient demon's obsession with youth. He casually mentions his mother is over 6,000 years old. Minyu asks how old Lavis is, but he can't remember. He only recalls watching humans build the pyramids. A flashback shows his uncle boasting to a young Lavis. He grabs the boy, asserting his godlike status. But his aide reveals the temple is for a heavenly god. His uncle explodes, furious they worship his defeated rival. He declares that since he won, the temple is his. Back in the present, Minyu is stunned by Lavis's aid. Strit panics, realizing Mara might devour Lavis's sibling. Lavis falls silent, his expression hardening. He realizes Minha is being consumed right now. The scene shifts to a dark, isolated building. Han Young recalls the moonless night he was born. He supports his decaying mother under a dark sky. He asks if they've finally arrived at the right place. She confirms it's a rift hidden from the heavens. But their arrival is met with a shocking sight. A long hall is lined with countless preserved bodies. A horned demon demands to know who they are. Mara introduces herself, stunning the demon with her name. He recoils, disgusted by the stench of her decay. A blur of purple energy signals a sudden attack. Han Young strikes, impaling the horned demon's son. The demon is stunned, recognizing the clawed weapon. He struggles against the powerful demonic gauntlet. The scene shifts, a girl recognizes a boy as Jin Yihui. Elsewhere, a boy is attacked by a slime monster. An ally shoves a gun into his hands to help. He falls back, completely stunned by the strange weapon. The girl wonders how Yihui has a demon-powered weapon. The boy questions why Yihui would give this to him. The gun glows, pulsing with a strange, powerful energy. The boy is consumed by the weapon's chaotic power. He screams as his heart and mind begin to overload. The overwhelming energy leaves him dizzy and breathless. The tailed girl demands to know Yihui's true motives. But Strit lunges, clashing with the furious demon girl. The girl mocks her gauntlet, calling it a simple toy. She screams insults, calling Strit a low-class beast. Strit fires back, refusing to be judged by a traitor. Dark slime suddenly erupts, trapping the girl's feet. She grins, realizing the weapon was a real threat. The tailed demoness lunges, eager to devour her prey. But the slime tentacles are too thick, impossible to cut. The demoness warns that Mara is adapting to her new vessel. The tailed girl wonders what a fresh demon beast tastes like, but the trapped demoness spots a critical weakness. A dark cord connects Mara to her old vessel. She explains that Manhwa is just an ordinary human. Her body can't accept all of Mara's power at once. The slime user leaps to sever the vital connection. They must break the cord and destroy the magic circle. The boy with the gun gasps, realizing Manhwa is stabilizing. He clutches the strange weapon, unsure how to help. He stares at Mara's old body, trapped in the sphere. He sees the dark tendrils connected to the old corpse. His eyes glow as he realizes the transfer isn't complete. The magic circle was protecting the original body. He clenches his fist, they still have a chance. His eyes flare with a strange, analytical power. The gun's power lets him see the circle's structure. He understands magic is just a complex calculation. He must solve the magic circle's formula to find its weakness. His mind races, translating magic into complex equations. He identifies the core of the seal within the equation's extremum. His ally stares, stunned he's solving the circle with math. She wonders if the gun gave him this analytical power. The enemy demoness lunges, screaming insults at her. She holds the line, determined to buy Shin more time. Shin converts the circle's structure into a matrix form. He knows finding the eigenvalue will reveal a single weakness. He finds it, a manic grin spreading across his face. He targets the magic circle's calculated weak point. With a crazed grin, he unleashes the weapon's power. He fires, unleashing a torrent of raw energy. The beam slams directly into the magic circle's core. The impact point explodes in a blinding flash. The entire magical structure begins to shatter apart. The enemy demoness turns, her face a mask of shock. She's thrown backward by the force of the explosion. She screams, demanding to know how he broke her spell. Shin collapses, laughing that his calculations were correct. The weapon falls, its formula having done its job. Shin collapses, confirming the magic circle is broken. Mara rages, her possession of the new vessel is incomplete. His ally praises him, vowing to finish the job herself. She charges forward as Mara screams in panicked fury. Her target, Mara's discarded, rotting original body. She tears into the corpse with a savage, bloody assault. Mara screams, feeling the attack on her former self. She unleashes a blast, sending the demoness flying back. Her ally is slammed hard across the stone floor. Mara screams, her entire plan is falling apart. She rages, obsessed with her precious original body. The injured demoness mocks Mara's collapsing greed. Mara explodes, threatening to devour her tormentor. Her ally calmly declares that Mara's greed will burn away. She looks to Lavis, standing over the defeated siblings. Hansu explains her brother absorbed red smoke and powered up. Mara stares in disbelief at this unexpected turn. The tiny demon realizes the smoke was a hidden trigger. Nearby, Belsha leans back with a satisfied, loving smile. A flashback shows Belsha over Lavis's true body. She drew his blood, a gift she had to use. She lovingly recalls a message from his uncle. A bloodstone was implanted in his new vessel. Absorbing his true blood would restore his power. But Han Young intercepted the gift meant for Lavis. Mara rages at her children for their failure. She grabs her son, choking him in pure fury. Her daughter is yanked back by the hair. The demon mother's eyes glow with contempt. Lavis stands firm against the siblings' furious assault. Han Young screams, now vowing to kill his own mother. His sister rages, still consumed by her desire to kill. But Lavis effortlessly blocks both of their attacks. Shin's ally screams, questioning the demon prince's motives. She demands to know why he'd die for a human girl. Lavis just smirks, remembering the cake she gave him. He grins, declaring that the cake was delicious. The demoness reels back, completely baffled by his answer. He recalls the cake Manhwa fed him was a taste of heaven. The demoness rages at his nonsensical reason. He asks if she's ever shared cake with someone. She screams that he must be completely insane. Lavis just stares back, completely unfazed. A dark tendril suddenly slashes across her throat. Lavis stands over her, blood splattered on his face. He licks the blood from his lips with a smirk. His demonic eye burns with a cold, red fury. A flashback shows a young Hansu with a perfect test. But Mara cruelly dismisses her children's efforts. Mara's voice echoes, calling them useless. The young siblings stand in stunned silence. Even perfect grades were torn to shreds. Nothing they did could ever earn her praise. The scene shifts to a cafe on another day. Mara complains her children ruin her love life. She vents her frustrations to her children. But Hansu's eyes harden with resolve. She gets up and walks toward the woman. She stomps hard on the woman's foot. She shoves the woman, spilling hot coffee everywhere. The woman screams in pain from the burning liquid. Mara feigns an apology, offering to buy new clothes. She quickly ushers her children out of the cafe. She leads them away, feigning indecision. But a cruel, satisfied smile spreads across her face. She praises Hansu for attacking the woman. The young girl basks in her mother's rare approval. Her brother begs for a chance to earn praise too. The twisted lesson is learned: cruelty earns her love. The lesson: hurting people her mother hates earns praise. Mara smiles, rewarding her daughter's cruelty. She asks her son if he'll obey her every command. A blood-soaked blade gives a silent, grim answer. Hansu stands over a body, seeking her mother's approval. Mara praises her daughter, demanding she kill again. Hansu believes murder is the path to love, the only way to earn her mother's affection. This twisted lesson becomes her entire world. In the present, Lavis smirks, "I raised these kids well." Hansu screams, consumed by murderous rage. Her brother roars, vowing to land the killing blow. Mara shrieks, demanding they kill him now. But Lavis moves, his demonic blade a blur. He unleashes a flurry of blindingly fast strikes. He declares them worthy of a demon's death. Mara stares, stunned by the change in his eyes. She recognizes the power he's now wielding. His aura forms a beast as he calls its name, Varkan. He redirects Hansu's blade into her own brother's arm. Lavis taunts her, asking if she's worried for her sibling. She explodes, screaming that this is all her brother's fault. Her eyes burn with hatred, turning on her own family. He screams back, threatening to kill her if she fails. Lavis grins, urging the foolish siblings to fight. Hansu's gaze hardens, her fury finding a target. She lunges, but not at Lavis, at her own brother. A flash of red as her blade finds its mark. She drives her sword straight through Han Young's chest. He collapses to the floor in a pool of his own blood. Han Young coughs up blood, screaming in agony. He collapses, desperately calling out to his mother. But Mara just screams, calling him useless to the end. Hansu coldly agrees, turning back to face Lavis. Her brother begs them not to leave him behind. He fades, his last words a plea to his mother. Mara unleashes her power, screaming for Lavis to die. Lavis meets her furious assault head-on. He's dealt with one, but Mara is nearly in control. He knows if he hesitates, Manhwa will be lost forever. He knows his human body can't hold out much longer. But he's willing to take a desperate gamble. He dodges her dark tendrils, closing the distance. He closes in, grabbing her before she can react. He grabs her face, her eyes wide with shock. Then he sinks his fangs deep into her neck. His eyes glow as he drains her demonic energy. Mara screams in disbelief, not understanding his move. The life drains from her eyes as she goes limp. He drops her lifeless body to the cold floor. He absorbs the blood, pushing his human body to its limit. He unleashes all the stolen power in a single burst. Mara screams in terror, begging him to stay back. He cuts through her defenses with blinding speed. She can't comprehend how this is happening, but the power surge is tearing his mortal body apart. He feels like he's being crushed from the inside out. But he revels in this feeling he's longed for. Mara can only watch, paralyzed by sheer horror. He brings his blade down in one final, decisive strike. Mara screams, furious he ruined her plans. He slams his fist directly into her face. The force of the blow drives her to the ground. He grabs her by the throat, choking the life from her. He declares that her foul lifeline has been cut. She screams, refusing to die by his hand. He offers her one final chance to survive. Mara is stunned by his unexpected mercy. He swears on his father's honor as Rabbis Vindica, but she realizes he fears she'll destroy the body. She smirks, saying she can always find a new vessel. She taunts him, demanding he drop his sword. Lavis sees he has no other choice. He lets his demonic blade dissolve in his hand. His weapon vanishes, leaving only blood behind. He orders her to leave Manhwa's body now. Mara reluctantly agrees, getting to her feet. But a cruel, treacherous smile spreads on her face. Her true form erupts from the girl's mouth. But Lavis grins, knowing this was all part of the plan. His hand transforms into a monstrous, demonic claw. He grabs Mara's true form as it tries to escape. She screams, realizing his arm is no longer human. He taunts her, admitting he had to trick her out. The ancient demon seethes, realizing she was played. She screams, betrayed by his broken, sacred oath. But he declares his own honor is all that matters now.